Bridget is with us today to share her story of what it was like to be a mother of three children going through Mad to Glad parent coaching. So, Bridget, welcome. I would love for you to share a little bit about what made you decide to pursue this avenue and what were some of the challenges you were experiencing that led you this way.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. My name is Bridget, and I am a solo mom of three children. My husband passed away about 4 years ago, and I have been taking care of these children all by myself with lots of community support, I guess I will say, but it's mostly just me. Two of my children I would label as high needs children, and sometimes my third as well. But I came to Samantha and Mad to Glad parent coaching at a point where we were doing therapy, play therapy every other week for all three of them, doing OT and having really intense needs in school as well. And I just didn't know what else would work. I saw the advertisement in our occupational therapy office and I said, well, I don't have anything to lose, so I'm going to try this.
And so, what were the day in and day out frustrations that were occurring in your family that play therapy and OT and the support at school weren't helping with?
Due to the trauma and the loss, my kids, I kept hearing over and over from the play therapist and the occupational therapist that they needed to have a consistent schedule. And I found it so overwhelming dealing with my own healing journey to find a way to make that schedule and to make it work. And my oldest is very smart and she is very good at manipulating at times, and she can change things super fast. So what might work one day is not going to work the next day. And I just couldn't keep up with that. She was having so many huge reactions. They used the size of the problem in school, and it was a small problem. Somebody maybe looked at her wrong or breathed on her shoulder, and it turned into a huge reaction, which took so much energy to calm her down and then try to keep parenting the way that they were trying to teach me from therapy, and occupational therapy was really difficult.
So, what did you learn that was different? Because you came into parent coaching having a lot of tools, but you also experienced a lot of transformation, even though some of these tools weren't new to you.
I think the biggest thing, and I've said this before and said this to other people in my life, is just the easy step-by-step process. I had homework for the 2-week period, and just focusing on saying positive things for 2 weeks made a huge change, even though I really wouldn't think it would have. And then also just realizing it's really hard to sort out what sort of behaviors were trauma and what sort of behaviorals were normal kid behaviors, because I was really used to only being a parent of small infants and toddlers before my husband passed away. So I wasn't used to all these growing up and sassy words and things. So learning that their behaviors were like normal kids and they weren't as a part of their loss and their trauma was very important for me to just kind of have that extra validation that what I was doing was okay and just stay the course.
And so, what's different now? What's actually happening now in your home?
We can get to school without yelling and screaming. Well, get to the bus every single morning on time, which is wonderful. We have time to actually have some downtime and play together. I was not huge on playing all the time, but I did want to spend quality time with them. But by the end of the day, I was so exhausted from trying to manage all their problems and emotions that I wanted nothing to do with them at times. But now we can purposely schedule that time to play together, and we can enjoy it in the evenings. And the best thing for me is that they all sleep in their beds almost every night. I would say every night, but we have some back and forths. But even on those nights that they're not sleeping in their bed, they're still following our rules, which are to sleep on the extra couch that's in mom's room or the floor. And that's wonderful.
And we were just talking about in Minnesota, we have a cold snap and it's icy right now. So will you share the wind that we were talking about?
Oh, yes. We had 4 days unexpected off of school last week. and we were home together all 4 days, and I did not yell at once. And my daughter pointed this out on 2 different days at bedtime. She said, "Mom, you didn't even yell today." And so I was very proud of that. I noticed it too, for having no schedule and not the normal stuff. They did really great, and I did really great. So it was rewarding. We had some fun together in those times when we were trapped inside in the polar vortex. Isn't that what they called it?
That's exactly it. Yeah. So, Bridget, I'll just ask one more question here. Were there any surprises along the way in terms of who you became as a result of parent coaching?
I think it really helped me to realize that I wasn't living values that I had for my life. I felt like, I don't know if I'm going to explain it properly, but I felt like I was spending so much time taking care of them, and I did not feel that I had time and energy to take care of myself. But we learned in the parent coaching aspect that just taking even a few minutes each day to sit and read or sit and do some mindfulness for me was enough right now to feel like I had some of my own time, and I could just be more in touch with those values that I have as a person, so I can be more present and share them with my kids.
And so, how do you imagine things unfolding? What's possible for you all now?
Well, I have already seen wonderful things. We have had good changes at school with my daughter. She feels a little more stable and safe at home, and so she can translate that into school. So I am imagining that that will continue, and we will keep getting the support there. For myself, I am just really, I'm really enjoying that we can have some downtime scheduled every day to play. We can keep to our schedule for the most part on the days, and we can laugh more, and we can enjoy our family fun nights, or even cooking every once in a while. We haven't done that for so long, but just those times together are more enjoyable.
Lovely. Well, thank you so much for sharing your time and your story. I know that parenting is a vulnerable thing to open up about, and I'm sure that there are parents out here who are considering what they could do to help their family. Do you have any parting advice for those who are kind of on the fence of what they want to do to support their family?
I would say do it. You have nothing to lose. You have a lot to gain. The information is, it is reliable. I have heard it from like 4 different sources before I heard it from Samantha and Manta Glad Parent Coaching. So I know it is out there and well researched, and Samantha showed us how to use it in our own practice and make it simple. So well worth my time and effort.